Hi everyone, I hope all is well. This week's Parsha is Parshat Pinchas. And in the second aliyah of this week's Parsha, we have an overview. We have something that's not so uncommon in Torah. We have a lineage, a list of people throughout the past many years in the desert, going back to Egypt, going back to Reuven, the son of Yaakov, right? We could trace it all the way back. Now, this lineage is outlining important people throughout the time in the desert up until now, which the Jewish people now in this week's Parsha are very close to actually entering the land of Israel. So it's a very exciting time. But there's something really fascinating about the outline, this lineage that's outlined in this week's Parsha, in the second aliyah. And that being that Datan and Aviram, these characters that we've actually seen many times before, Datan and Aviram, according to Midrash, are the people that turned Moshe in Egypt after he killed the Egyptian guard that was beating up a Jewish slave. And these are also, Datan and Aviram are notorious for being people that hopped onto Korach's bandwagon when he was trying to overthrow Aaron a few weeks ago. So in this week's Parsha, when it says Datan and Aviram, when it describes them in the lineage, it calls them, well, one, it groups them in with Korach, right? So, okay, taken care of. But it calls them Kiryei Ha'eda, that these were important people. These were people, chosen people of the assembly. And for lack of better expression, that really means that Datan and Aviram, these people that really we paint in a negative light, that should be looked at in a negative light, that were really annoying for the Jewish people throughout their time in the desert, were part of Moshe and Aaron's direct advisory committee. They were a Kiryei Ha'eda. How is this possible? What is really going on here? So I think a really beautiful message we could learn just from this descriptor in the Torah that they were part of this committee is that Moshe and Aaron realized throughout our lives we have to deal with people sometimes that are, for lack of a better term, annoying, right? They cause problems, and they might not be the most helpful for us, but at the same time, one, we could be helpful to them, and two, maybe we could actually learn something from them, from their actions, even though they could be negative. So I think that could really be a very beautiful message brought out from just the sheer being that Datan and Aviram were so high up within the hierarchy of Moshe and Aaron's advisory system. Also, the following two verses later, it says, Uvnei Korach lo metu, the sons of Korach didn't die. So you could interpret this many different ways, but I think if we're going on the same path here, we could describe that there are these kinds of people that are like Datan and Aviram, that hopped on with Korach, that are annoying, that fight against the status quo, even though the status quo is Torah and you just had Hashem helping you and talking to you, and you know it's so obvious. But these people, V'nei Korach lo metu, we still today even have these people that, for some reason, just like to push against the current in a way that is just not right. But yet, we could learn from Moshe and Aaron that, not always should we just throw them aside. Maybe we can actually learn something from them, and maybe our influence could be infectious to them, and maybe we could actually help them out. So I think I give everyone a bracha that we don't have to encounter so many people like Datan and Aviram in our lives, but it's inevitable, and when we do, we should really be good influences to them, and we should keep our eyes open to really see, it's good to see what we shouldn't be as people. And I think this is a great opportunity to do that, as unfortunate as it may be that there are people like this that exist. But regardless, I wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom, and I will see you next week.